Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
What's going on, everybody?
We're back to talk Vanderpump, guys. Vanderpump Rules, Season 11, Episode 4. Brian, we finally got a trip. They finally did something this season. They, for 4 weeks now, have just been literally sitting and talking, mainly talking about Sandoval or talking about if it's still okay to be mean to Sandoval. This is the first time they all were forced to be together. This is the trip to Lake Tahoe to the casino where Lisa is opening the new restaurant, like Wolf by Vanderpump. I don't know if it's open as of yet. I probably should have Googled that before we started, but looks really cool. Definitely on my list of destinations for us when we eventually do our rounds of hitting all the restaurants and stuff in the reality TV shows that we watched. But off the top, Tom Sandoval, people are speaking to him. He ends the episode with a big conversation with James to try to make some progress. And I think that's the word of the episode, Brian, progress, right? We're this is the beginning of the motion to start moving on, including him in the group, making it easier on everybody to film outside of obviously Ariana and Katie. Brian, your thoughts overall on this episode?
Yeah, so it took us 5 weeks to probably get a decent episode, in my opinion. This one's felt the most, I guess, normal to an old season where they're kind of doing something like kind of vibing together. People are still not, somebody's mad at somebody, whether it be Brock and Sheena or everyone mad at Sandoval. But I know Tom or Sandoval did say, like, I guess a half-ass sorry, but it's still, I don't really fully believe him. I think he's just like playing up to the part. But it is progress. Maybe it's 0.1%, but we'll take any progress at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it was progress. It's definitely not the most sincere apology. He's still looking for the and buts from everyone. It looks like next week he may get his first argument. It looks like with Lala. So we'll see how over time that evolves. And frankly, I'd like to see, when we get to say the reunion point, to see where they stand currently. If he reverted back, if things are better, has he ingratiated back into the group, or was this even just for show for Lisa or for the cameras? And they really have zero interest in actually being this guy's friend again. That's kind of the development I am curious about. Where is the line of like what they're doing it for Lisa and for cameras? Because for a while, like his biggest beef is that for the cameras and for the money, they jumped on the Sandoval train and made a bunch of cash. I mean, and I can understand being a little annoyed by that, but at the end of the day, I think he will be a lot better off if he can swallow it. But like you said, knowing Sandoval, I don't think we are on the straight and narrow trajectory yet for him.
And it looks like his first ally next week is going to be Sheena, which is going to be ultra annoying to watch.
Sheena's the best. Sheena is the best. Sheena can't even wait to leave the vacation. It looks like in the preview to have to FaceTime Mariana to basically renege on everything she's been saying since Sandoval and saying that it's you and I'm done with him. I can't hate him because you hate him. Well, what do you been? Sheena told you made all your money and everything off of the last 5 months, like leading up to that. What are you talking about?
I can't stand her, honestly. I know that there's a lot of people that love her, but man, I cannot stand her. At all. Sheena. As soon as I saw that preview where she's crying, I was like, here we go again. Grand Theft Auto gif. Like,
oh shit. Here we go again.
On, man. I was really hoping that maybe it'd be James or Lala that would break the mold, but I just don't think Sheena is like I don't know, it doesn't have a lot of weight to me if that's your first ally. She's a people pleaser.
Yeah. Graham the dog got a lot of play this week. Graham the dog went from ending up back in a shelter to on a private jet and at Lake Tahoe, hanging out, allowed to eat in a very expensive casino that I'm sure other dogs aren't allowed to eat in.
You know how I feel about people bringing dogs in places they shouldn't be.
It's very interesting. I kind of had the red flag go up too right away before they mentioned. I'm like, oh boy, I'm sure Sandoval has spent a ton of time with Graham, and I know he probably knows the Rachel side of the story. And I'm sure there's shades of truth to both sides, right? I'm sure the dog was biting guys. I'm sure it probably wasn't super trained. At the same time, it's like a cockapoo. So that vicious dog is not really. I've had dogs, or you can train dogs, and that just means no one ever just bothered to train the poor dog because no dogs are just bad. They just had a bunch of careless owners. I'm sure James wasn't a great owner. Sure, Rachel wasn't a great owner either, and her parents probably were the worst of them because they got rid of him. So like, I just hope that in this season, please just get the dogs and dog training. You're in West Hollywood. There's a million dog trainers. Just please get the dogs in training. Like, and so this doesn't have to become like a weird topic of debate throughout the season.
Yeah, focus less on the dog's Instagram and its training. How about that?
Facts on that. I do with the Sheena stuff though. It is relatable, and the one thing I will say is like the Brock Sheena argument they're having is a very relatable parent argument.
I was laughing at Brock.
You're just your mother-in-law will not be here our whole life. And I just laugh and I sit there with Brock at all times. And Brock like is making valid points, but I have a very hard time with Brock removing the fact that he's like a deadbeat dad. And so like, or former deadbeat dad, excuse me, better now. But like at one point is in the paragon of like parenting. So like your wife's doing super well. She's great. She really just whatever. I don't know. I mean, my kid's not here yet.
The one thing I'll say about this is someone who went through, I guess, like someone has to take care of your kids. They have a lot of money. They could hire somebody of value that, like, you know what I mean, is like totally trained, like very trustworthy, probably has great credentials. That's what I have a hard. That's
like a full live-in nanny, right? Like somebody who's just there.
You can get a really nice, like they have the money to get to something that's really good, and that's why I kind of am siding with Brock here, where it's like the time is your biggest ally, or is your most important asset when you become a parent, and like if they can't spend any time together, I can totally get how it's super frustrating.
Just to make sure that people can't accuse us of playing favoritism the sides, we did have Katie and Ariana sit in a car this episode and talk, and Katie Ariana sit at a table and talk. Man, I know that probably more is going on. I know a lot more is going on in Ariana's life now. I know that she gets to Dancing with the Stars. She's doing the Broadway show. But man, really rough timing for their filming, where like they still have not even to present day opened that sandwich shop. And it's like they never knew about building permits or like things like the fact that to open such a little space is taking so long. God, man, if this is their storyline all season, like pass.
Yeah, I was really hoping that we'd have the sandwich to like, I want to see them do something. I feel like all they're doing is complaining about Sandoval, complaining about the house.
Oh God, this house.
And I don't know. I mean, God, I guess the furniture is important, but just sell the damn house at a premium to him and keep the furniture. I mean, that's it.
The problem with Ariana, and we've been saying, and even Sandoval brought it up in episodes, is that she doesn't track any of the financials, and she's definitely not paying anything. And the fact that you could even tell this conversation, she's like, "Oh, did we buy that from you?" And it's like the designer's like, "Yeah, and you bought this and this and this, and that was this." She was never checked in on the finances, and look, like I just saw on TikTok that he literally just put some form of a lien on her in the house, because I don't think she's been paying her part of her. Like she's got the money too. She's just not paying it. She's just like, you cheated on me. And it's like, yeah, but the bank doesn't care about that. Like, you know, the law isn't going to care about this, Ariana. Like, you know, like it's crazy. It's like $100,000 lien that she definitely has the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. Like point that now that's 5 months after Sandoval. Sandoval happened in March. That puts that at, like in the fall. And we're sitting here in February, dude. And they still are not out of that house.
This is probably one of my least favorite storylines in a reality show in recent memory that we covered. Like, their house is a dump, too. Like, they're rich. Take care of your house. Like, you have money. Like, why do these people have money and they don't, like, take care of their things? You're also on TV. You look like a slob. But I don't know. I'm sick of the storyline. Just somebody buy the house for Christ's sakes and just move on with it. Because I'm so sick of hearing them complain about it.
The problem is we know that's not going to happen this season.
It's such a first world problem.
No,
I want the house. No, he wants the house. I want the house. I want the house. He wants the house.
Oh, I just can't. He can't have this furniture. It's like, oh my God, who cares?
I'm so over it. And I know a lot of people. Man, I was on Twitter reading the hashtags. No one agrees. They're all on Team Ariana on this, and I'm just like, I don't get it.
No, this is you're spiting. You're cutting your nose to spite your face, right? You're making your life much harder. It's tough.
Yeah, just like I said, if you want the house, sell it at a premium. He'll buy it and just put your furniture in storage.
Yeah. Like you said, do you really want to live in the valley anymore? Like you're single.
Milk him for the money. I mean, like you can capitalize. He wants the house. Just mark it up.
It's crazy. The point where he's going to end up looking like the sympathetic figure in the house situation is going to be wild. You know, it's overplaying the hand a bit.
Yeah, I can't wait to get killed for those comments, but
Yeah, it's
I'm
whatever.
ready for it. Bring it on.
Really, what we saw. I mean, Tom Schwartz is single and lonely. We know he's going to dye his hair at some point this season. They mentioned Joe. Yeah. We'll see. I don't really feel bad for Schwartz. It's kind of there.
No, he's just a weirdo. I mean, he is going to grow up old and alone because he's just a weirdo dude.
He's like a softer version of Shep.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, Shep will never get married.
Like
but
Uncle
I mean,
Nino, but like without the mouth.
They're in that vintage store. They have $500 shirts in there. I'm sure the pants you bought were probably over $100.
I'm really vibing with this $500 hat. I was like, what?
It's crazy.
That hat, it was not even good. Like you can get go to
was the hat. I know the shirt was fine. The hat was 500 too.
I thought he said it was $500.
No, the shirt that he was holding, the yellow shirt on the rack he picked up, which was like the same as the shirt I got from like the Rhode Island one.
I thought Sandoval said this hat was $500. I was like,
oh, but still, hat was probably 100.
That's a joke. That's an absolute joke.
It's crazy sauce.
Cool. Wasn't even cool. Wasn't even fitted.
Yeah, I think that's really it, Brian. A lot of coverage here on the Reality Guys this week. Brian just dropped Love Never Lies Poland season review. As far as the mainstay shows, we have the Traders US back at the end of the week. We will have the finale of Love is Blind season 6. I believe we will probably, if the cadence stays, we'll have a reunion on Sunday. They've usually been doing it the following Sunday. So whenever that is, we'll have the reunion for that. Survivor 46 premieres Wednesday. That is a 2-hour premiere, Brian. 2 hours. And guess how many tribal councils we'll get? 1.
Kill me, dude.
We will also we didn't announce this. I like it. Brian may do it. Deal or No Deal Island. It's actually not that bad. So I'm gonna review that. It's got voting elements, it's got challenges, and it has deal or no deal in every episode, which actually it's different though. It's not the normal deal or no deal. So there is an interesting wrinkle that makes it pretty actually intriguing.
I'll watch it, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about
I gotta do Love and Hip Hop is gonna take priority over probably.
Yeah, Love and Hip Hop. We got a lot of stuff, man. We got Amazing Race coming back next month. Farmer Wants a Wife. We have coverage of that continuing. We had interviews with the farmers. Yeah.
I think Traders US wraps up this Thursday and their reunion next week. I think.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. So finale coming up on Thursday and a reunion. So we will make sure we have that as well. But for myself, Brian, everyone at the Reality Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for 3,000, by the way. Moving on to 4. See you.